This Wisconsin team and Taylor in general, they have problems dealing with this Ohio State defense, historically at least.
It does, and I think the weather was somewhat of an equalizer because this is one of the better groups of Wisconsin receivers they've had. When we played in the Big Ten Championship, they didn't have the receivers they have now. You can stop the run. You can. If a team, you can make a team one-dimensional, especially when you have really good players like Ohio State. So you can stop the run. There's a fallacy out there. You can certainly stop the run. You can't stop both. And if they're balanced, which I thought they would be more, right, and this hindered them. I mean, this is hard to come out and throw the ball.
Remember, though, early third quarter, this was a 3-point game, and then the Buckeyes just able to turn it on.
Well, that's what they do with the speed and the type of team. They can score at any point in a game, and then it just got out of hand for Wisconsin. And we just saw the graphic of J.K. Dobbins. I just can't give him enough respect for what he means to this football team. And Justin Fields is really the guy that goes, and he can run, he can throw. But J.K. Dobbins, how about just in the pass-catching game, out of the backfield? He just puts a lot of pressure on a defense. I was really impressed with his performance, and they just grinded it. They went with tempo early, and then they grinded it out in the second half. It was an excellent win, complete team win for Ohio State.
I think the tempo really helped them find their rhythm, right? We saw that at the end of the first half, then into the second half, and they used it too. They really started to get on a roll, and that's when they put their foot on the pedal, and they didn't look back. And unfortunately for Wisconsin, that's the issue, is once you get down, they don't have the ability to separate, at least versus this Ohio State defense. Not when you have to worry about Chase Young, not when you have to worry about the cornerbacks they're going up against. And it was the way they distributed the football. Everyone was getting involved. Chris Olave was a part of it. We were talking about J.K. Dobbins and his ability to run but also catch the football. It's another element on top of trying to stop Justin Fields and everyone else within this offense that's so explosive.
I would say this, too. We talked about, can Ohio State handle adversity? And listen, today it was a close game. There was adversity. The weather, Wisconsin, made some plays early in this football game. I thought we learned a lot about Ohio State, both sides of the football.
I learned so much. I'm willing to say this. One, Chase Young is the best player in college football. Bottom line. I don't know if he's going to win the Heisman.
He's the most dominant.
He's the best player overall. But unfortunately, that award usually goes to a quarterback. And this team, in my opinion, is the most complete team. I know LSU has done more so far with the resume coach, but I would say this Ohio State team is the #1 team in the country right now.
Well, it's who you play, and I think I'm going to vote them #1 as well, because I had to see him. We all had to see him against a very good team. They just did. The one thing, and you'll see there was 4 plays, at least 4, the same play they ran. Twice Justin kept it, Bash. Twice they kept it, and twice Ryan does not want to use Justin Fields because he has a depth issue. Here's a Bash play. The quarterback keeps it. And you're going to see the next 2, the quarterback hands it off, and is spread. This is spread football right here. You're spreading the field horizontally as well as vertically. Here's again the spread, and then to see a touchdown here next where Justin Fields reads the defensive end on the right, pulls it, and if you look at how fast that cat is, I mean, that's the, you're talking about great players all over this field.
Fields, though, did spend some time in the medical tent. Jenny Taft recording that, took a shot in the lower back when he had that touchdown run. You saw him grimacing a couple times after that. That is the biggest concern for the Ohio State football program.
And you look at their schedule, you won't see him running the ball again for a minute now until Penn State rolls up here. I mean, there's going to be, like I said, there's going to be a pocket of plays that you do not touch unless you have to go win the game like they had to at some point today.
One thing, I thought the Wisconsin offensive line was going to weigh a little bit on Ohio State. It was the exact opposite. It was the Ohio State offensive line that started to weigh by the end of the game, second half, towards the Wisconsin defensive front. That's something that shouldn't go unnoticed, too. This offensive line for Ohio State has played extremely well this year.
Coach, real quick, you've seen them on tape, you've seen them in practice this season, but this is your first time seeing them live in person. What are the big takeaways that maybe you weren't anticipating?
Well, I was anticipating this. I thought that Wisconsin, but it was, like you said, it was a 3-point game going into the third or fourth, end of the third quarter.
Early third, yes.
Early third. This is as good a team. That's a stock team with NFL talent. When you're going to find out, like Tua at Alabama, one of the top quarterbacks in America, it's all about staying healthy now. Right. If that team stays healthy, but we all know what happens. You got to stay healthy, and that includes Tuesday and Wednesday practices, and then when you play and when you pull guys out as you're beating other teams.
Is there a thought, too, of just not losing focus on some of the other matchups, right? Like there's a team right now in college football that maybe lost a little bit of focus today on a road in Manhattan, Kansas. I mean, we're going to talk about them in a minute, but there's some of that, too, I think, that plays a factor.
And that goes down to, first of all, coaching, and second of all, what kind of leaders do you have on this team? And this is exceptional leaders on this team right now. And you've heard Ryan say it, but you're a speed bump away from something bad happening. And how do you do that? Injuries, like you said, loss of focus, start reading the clippings, NFL, not NFL, that's going to be pouring in all over the place. But that's life in the big city. You got to work through it.
And the leadership of Chase Young starting to become a growing
Has he
story,
become
not
something.
just for Ohio
So
State,
proud
but
of that guy.
on the national scene as well.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoy that clip, make sure you click subscribe somewhere down here. From game highlights to exclusive interviews and rankings, we've got everything you need as a college football fan right here, College Football on Fox.